I would like to thank all of you for making the effort to come here today. I would like to give a brief speech about the history of South Elmsall before I explain why we're really gathered here today. The first mention of South Elmsall was in the Domesday Book in 1089 and is referred to as Elmsall, which meant that the village was under the Norman occupation at that time. Before all this occurred, on Field Lane, there's a reef that dates back to the Permian period and was discovered by geological experts. On the west side of the reef was sand, and on the east side of the reef was sea, which stretched back to Holland and to Germany. We also had a local hero called John Morris. He was born in 1619, and at an early age he progressed through the ranks from different skirmishes to the rank of colonel in the English Civil War. He was best remembered for taking Pontefract Castle from the Parliamentarians in 1648. South Elmsall continued as a small farming village with stone cottages that nestled in the valley. Up until the 1800s, lime quarrying was the main industry, until coal was discovered, and then it became the main provider, attracting workers from different areas, which in turn had to provide houses and schools to house and educate the growing population. At the outbreak of the First World War, the men of this village answered the call to arms and joined Kitchener's army. And this memorial that you see today before you is testament to their bravery and to their sacrifice. There are 248 names on this war memorial, 174 from the First World War and 74 from the Second World War. They gave their lives for king and country. Some of these men are buried in the cemetery just up the road here. The rest are buried in foreign fields in France, in Belgium, Gallipoli, North Africa, and some have no known graves. Every year, on Remembrance Day, nearly all the residents of this village turn out to remember these brave souls who fought in the British Armed Forces. This brings me why we are here today. We are gathered here today to remember another British soldier. His name is Drummer Lee Rigby. Lee was born in July 1987 in Greater Manchester. He joined the British Army in 2006 as a teenager. He did his basic training at Catterick in North Yorkshire. He then became a member of the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, and joining us today is a soldier that served alongside Lee Rigby. Lee was stationed in Cyprus for a period of time when he became a machine gunner, and on ceremonial duties he was in the Drum Corps. In April 2009, Lee Rigby was deployed on active service for the first time to Elmsall province in Afghanistan, where he served as a member of the fire support group in patrol base Wakab. On returning to the UK, Lee completed a second tour of public duties and then moved with his battalion to Germany, which was to be held at a high state of readiness for contingency operations as part of the small-scale contingency battle group. Lee spent 6 months there during one of the most violent periods in the troubled country. After returning from Afghanistan, Lee was stationed in Elmsall, West London, where he worked as a recruiter for the British Army. Lee also guarded the Royal Palaces. He also served as one of the iconic guards outside the Tower of London. On May the 22nd, 2003, Lee, who was wearing a Help for Heroes hoodie, was walking back to his barracks, and at around 2:20 p.m. that day, he crossed the road close to his barracks when a car veered across the road and headed straight for Lee. The car hit Lee and pinned him against the roadside. Two men then jumped out of the car and began to brutally butcher Lee with knives and meat cleavers. They then dragged his lifeless body into the middle of the road. Now I'm telling you this, if it wasn't for a member of the public filming it, his murder were just gone down by the establishment as just another murder in London. Lee Rigby survived the Taliban in the war-torn country of Afghanistan, only to be murdered on an English street in her own English capital city of London by two crazed Muslims who were fanatics of Islam. I won't mention their names out of respect for Lee and his family. But what I will say is this: these two animals should have been put against a wall, and the soldiers from Lee's regiment should have had the honour of dispatching these two savages. Lee Rigby was the eldest of 5 children, and when he was brutally taken away, he left behind Sarah, Chelsea, Courtney and Amy, whom he adored. He was also the loving father of Jack. Lee may well be a hero to us all. He may also be a soldier to us all. He was also a loving brother, a son and a father. And on this second anniversary of his death, we must all think of his family at this sad time. I'm now going to read a short poem in memory of Lee Rigby. I was just out for a walk after an early stag, not looking for trouble, not watching my back. Mothers with prams, holding hands with their kids, not paying attention to the car in skids. Caught completely off guard, not expecting what comes. One man with a knife, another with guns. No chance of defence, no chance to fight back. Looking for help as the cowards attack. An angel arrives as a light turns to grey. A woman attempts to steer the attackers away. My last thought of thank you is straight from my brain. As my body shuts down, I feel no more pain. I look to my left and I look to my right. Thousands of squaddies, but that's all in sight. Uniforms are crisp and their faces are clean. No sign of anger or hate to be seen. As if by command, they salute all as one. The RSM smiles, welcome home my son. Now I'm going to ask anyone else who wants to say a few words. Now. So we're all joining together then in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Forgive those trespass against us.
Not into temptation.
There's a kingdom, power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Good luck. Sound good. Like we all give a round of applause for Lee Rigby. Thank you everybody for turning up.